Hello, everyone. It's that time again, time for another Where in the World is a W5 story session. So, you know, the more that we know each other's story, the more that we can become a story in somebody else's life. So that's one of the bases why I started doing these, so I get to know people a little bit better. And this particular individual, I know more in a business sense, so to speak, because we're part of the same mastermind group. But now I get to ask her some really fun questions, such as, who are you?
Well, thank you, first of all, Jeanette, for having me here. Basically, who am I? So I am the fiance of a truck driver. So when possible, I go with him on the road. I am a daughter, a granddaughter, a mother, and a jeeper.
Oh, and what about for business? Do you
I'm an
not wear
accountant.
a who
Oh,
hat?
I
Oh,
wear a couple of hats there. I'm an accountant and I'm a business advisor.
okay, perfect. So as I like to say, sometimes it'll feel like we're going to Dr. Seussville by the end of this because
That's
Whoville is like an awesome place to go.
of
So
course.
as a truck driver's fiance, let's unpack that one. What do you do? And as an accountant, what do you do?
Well, with Steve, who's my fiance, um, where possible, I go with him. And when I'm with him on the road, I have my laptop and I'm working, doing my accounting jobs. And when he has to do a load and an unload, I'm out there in all of my little safety equipment with my hat and my safety boots and my vest and everything. And I'm helping him strap and tarp and chain and all that. And as an accountant, I help business owners understand their numbers, making sure that they know where their business is sitting from their numbers perspective and how that flows into their business goals and how they can use their numbers to reach their business goals. Because without knowing your numbers, you can't get to your goals. So,
Yeah, they say the death is in the details. So know where those details are of successes and both things that need a little bit of work when it comes to your numbers.
yeah.
So because I'm fascinated about this whole truck driver fiance bit, where do you go from and where do you go to?
So the home base currently is in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and we go all across Canada. So
Oh, wow.
yep, I have been all the way to the coast of BC, all the way to the coast of Nova Scotia. The only province I haven't been in with him is PEI, and I haven't been to any of the three territories, although he's been to all of that, plus most
Wow.
of the US.
So tell me, when you're on the road and you say you do your job as an accountant, how is that possible? How do you make that happen?
Cell phone, hotspot,
Ah,
right? Wi-Fi hotspot, have a very nice laptop, and all of my client work is done on online virtual software, right? Like QuickBooks Online is my majority software that I use. And so people send me their documentation and I go through, code it, make sure it's all accurate and done. And I send them the reports that they need, and we can have a phone call or a Zoom call, provided the cell reception's okay. And yeah, basically it's the same as being in my office working, except I get to see the scenery of Canada.
that's awesome, guys. I don't know. I think you're the only traveling accountant that I know. So that leads me into, when did you decide that you wanted to be an accountant?
That would be back in university, the first year of university. I come by it honestly. My dad's an accountant as well. He had his practice for over 30 years. And um, after deciding I wasn't going to go into biotechnology because I didn't like lab work, I decided that the business course I was taking was where I wanted to go. So I just started taking accounting courses and got my CMA designation back in 2005 and kind of ran with it because I started working for my dad when I was a teenager, right? Helping him out, get some pocket change, and decided in university I loved it and the numbers were what it was. So that's followed in my
That's a,
dad's footsteps.
that's a great story. What were you studying in school?
Biotechnology. So it was going to be like, lots of lab work with like chemistry and physics and, a little bit of like technology thrown in there and stuff. But I had taken two chemistry courses, the intro to chem and organic chem. and I decided I absolutely hated lab work. So, and plus I had physics. So it was like, if I hate lab work at university, I'm going to hate it if this is my job. But
Mm.
I took an intro to business course and it was all about business and stuff like that. And I'm going, this I like because we have conversations about how does this work and how does that work? And, and it tied into what I knew already from working for my dad. And yeah, so I went that way, right? So it was,
I'm going to go back up to the where. Now, where what? It could be where can clients, like where do you have clients across Canada? Like, do you have clients across Canada or are you solely a Manitoba-based accountant?
no, I work currently right now. My clients are based from Manitoba West all the way out through BC. But
Okay.
I've helped people in Ontario. And I've spoken with people and given them, haven't worked with them or currently, but Nova Scotia and New Brunswick and PEI are the same. The only place I won't do any work for is Quebec, just because
Okay.
their tax laws are so different, right? They're
Okay.
they're really their own country when it comes to taxes, but everything else is the same.
Oh, awesome. So it rounds us up to our why. So Kendra, why do you do what you do in life?
Twofold. Entrepreneurship's in my blood. Because my grandfather was a carpenter and had his own business. My grandmother did his books. My father, as I said, had his own accounting practice for over 30 years. And my mom had a Christmas store when I was a kid, on top of her being a principal. So I come by it honestly, right? I grew up around it. Um,
Right?
and I saw my parents doing it, my grandfather doing it, and I went, when I had the opportunity to take a self-employment course, I went, I'm taking it because I don't want to be an employee for the rest of my life. I want to be able to help, like I said at the beginning, right? Business owners understand their business from the numbers perspective. Um, because that's really my passion, is teaching people about their business and how they can make their business better and use that to reach their goals, because their business goals are going to help them reach their personal goals. So
That's a great why. That's a really good why. So thank you so much, Kendra. I now know a little bit more about you. I often say that, when somebody says to you, who do you know? Well, I confidently now, after all of these sessions, these W5 sessions, have a lot of who's in my set of Whoville. And when somebody says, hey, who do you know? And it's like, I am 57. I have no problem saying that if I know somebody that needs an accountant and now I know your story, it's so much easier to kind of go, oh, this person and this person is a good match. This person and this person. I know probably about 20 accountants in my time, but you're all different and you all deserve to be matched up with a client that is going to work well together instead of butt heads, in order for us to serve up our great stories and our great help to the world. So I want to thank you so much for sharing your story today. And we'll make sure in the comments afterwards, we'll put your contact information, your website or something like that, so if somebody wants to get in touch with you. So thank you so much for sharing your story today. Guys, tune in next Monday. I have a really interesting fellow. His name is David, and he's an artist that with cerebral palsy, and he paints with his mouth, and he's got amazing art. So you'll want to tune in for that one as well. From managing your books to managing the art world is pretty cool. So thank you so much, guys, and enjoy your day. Bye, Kendra.
bye, thank you.